Alrighty, let's jump in this market. Having a look at Bitcoin and the rest of the altcoins here in the top 10-ish. It's a bit of a mixed bag today. We've got some red, we've got a little bit of green, but mostly red across the alts. You can see here that Tether is a little bit up, which is meaning that all the money or some money is flowing back into Tether, probably from all the altcoin. Altcoins are still bleeding. They've been bleeding for the last few days now, which isn't that great. But Bitcoin is holding the 13,000s and above 13,500, which is quite nice, which we'll have a look at in a minute. So a lot of the funds will be bleeding out of the altcoins over towards Bitcoin. With that, let's have a look at the Fear and Greed Index. Now, Fear and Greed Index. You can see here that we're at greedy 73. You can get pretty high, up around the 80s, and that is a good time to be hopping out. But when you get into that greedy section, you can also have some large run-ups. And when Bitcoin is in a bullish state and it gets greedy, then you can have more large run-ups out of Bitcoin as well, and it won't come down from there. So this is a good indicator that you can trade on alternate ways. So sell extreme greed and buy fear. So it's a pretty good little indicator that you can keep using. With your altcoins at the moment, there's a good possibility that you're thinking about hopping out of your altcoins, but you can kind of have a look at this bull market percentage. So you can see here that we're at the bottom, so we're virtually at all-time lows of the bull market percentage. So at some stage, these altcoins are going to bounce back. How long you want to hang in to them is up to you. That's the toughest question in all. But you can't lose if you don't sell, I suppose. If you look at the different little run-ups we've had here, these are all pretty good run-ups, and you can correlate them back to the chart as well of having a nice little run-up. You can see we've had some big dips as well. Around March there wasn't very good, and then we come back down. We've had a few dips in between there. Altcoins were going mad through this time and this time here, and now we're right at the bottom, which is pretty good, and hopefully we can have a nice little run up back up and get some money back into the altcoins as well. Now, heading over to BTC real quick, we look here, we've got a rising broadening wedge maybe, but definitely a rising wedge here, and it's respecting this. We're on the daily chart right now. We're respecting this quite nicely. MACD could be rolling over. You've got your histogram sloping downways. You've also got your RSI sloping downways as well, and kind of a double top on the Stotch. Now, it's not too bad. The bulls need to turn up and print a higher high here, so we need to get over this 13,800 odd area. If we got to get over that and close high, and then close on the monthly high above 13,800 ish, 50 odd, it would be very bullish case. That'd be a huge bullish case. These rising wedges usually break to the downside, so it's a better chance for them to break to the downside than what it is to the upside. So if we were to come down, you would come back to, and measured move is just that flagpole. If you were to measure that, it comes back to around there-ish somewhere, which is marked on the chart here at around 12,052. So 12,052, which then corresponds with this head and shoulders pattern. So you can see here we've got good support and was resistance, but now support should be good support, and it touches many times. So you got 1, 2, 3, busts through and comes back down, hits it again there, 4, and then 5. So you've got some good support here. Hopefully it comes back down here, and then we should see another bounce as well. So we could either see something bust out the top of here, something like so, or we come down, touch this, and then come back up somewhere like that. This would be a pretty good thing. So having a retest of that 13,800 would be really nice as well, and come back up. Look at the 4-hourly chart. We'll come across to the 4-hourly chart, and we should be able to see you can see my scribbles there, but what you can see is we will get rid of these scribbles for the moment, and we'll still got our measured move towards the downside, but you can also see that we've got a little bit of bearish divergence as well forming. So we've got upward sloping trend line here, and then downward sloping on our MACD, and also on our histogram here as well, also on our RSI. This here maybe is rolling over as well on the Stotch. So yeah, the bulls need to show up, break above this 13.8, and we should be pretty sweet on a nice little bull run. On the other hand, with market conditions and the world as it is right now, you could think that we might be able to move back down here, retest this 12.52 mark, and then come back up again. So all eyes are on Bitcoin right now, and the altcoins will need to let Bitcoin settle down before they'll start to make a move upwards. PTC dominance is on the way up. You can see that it's crossed the 200 as well, which you can't really put too much into on this dominance chart, but this big wick here is just a mistake from TradingView to get fixed up in a while. But it's on the way up. Whenever BTC's dominance is rising, altcoins are going to be bleeding. And if we come over here, you can see that we're bleeding on the altcoins. MACD cross coming down as well on the altcoins, so it's not looking that great for the altcoins at the moment. Having said that, they will bounce at some stage. They definitely will bounce.